Hey guys, been doing some different videos and trying to hit on some different subjects here lately and thought I'd do something a little different. We're going to keep this short and sweet and talk about one of the other areas that I love, and that's sports, in particular Kansas City sports. You can see by the picture, I'm going to be talking about the Chiefs and the Royals today. I've said this for a long time. The Truman Sports Complex in Kansas City, where the Royals and Chiefs play, they share stadiums right across the parking lot from each other. If you've never been, two amazing facilities. We used to go to the Royals Stadium with my dad when I was a kid, and that was a great place. But man, they have, over the last several years, have just made it incredible. The Chiefs have been upgrading and upgrading, and they've done some more stuff this year. I'm not going to probably get down there this year to see it, but it's always a great time. The parking lot's great with the tailgating and all that. But one of the things that's always shown me is the problems with Major League Sports and how they do their payrolls. You always can go into the season or rebound really quickly in the NFL. It's the hope springs eternal. Yeah, there's the hapless different organizations that can never seem to get it right. But with the right people in place, they can get it turned around pretty quickly because of the way the salary cap and the pay structure and all that stuff works. Whereas with the Royals, Major League Baseball, depending on your size of the market, might get one of these rare gems every now and then, which I want to talk about here in a minute. But otherwise, you just don't have the same opportunity. So I think that's been for a long time. The Royals cannot afford to make a mistake. Yeah, their salaries and payrolls are supposed to be fairly comparable, but the difference is a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers, they can afford to send somebody that they're paying $10+ million a year down to the minors, where a team like the Royals, they make that kind of salary investment. That person's got to play. So with that being said, let me turn my eyes to something a little more hopeful and positive, because I don't foresee the baseball salary structure changing anytime soon. So it really struck me here, and I've thought about this off and on over the off season, and now we've just finished week 1 of the NFL, and there's a lot of optimism with the Chiefs and that high-powered offense, and maybe some tweaking on the defense. We can get to the promised land this year. And it really got me thinking about some parallels with the Royals from just a few years ago. They hadn't been really competitive since the 90s, and the total upheaval of the salary structure and the sort of salary cap, I guess it is, and the salaries in baseball just skyrocketing. Well, if you've been paying attention to baseball, you'll know a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about. If you don't, I'll catch you up. For the last couple of decades, the Royals have been awful. They've sent people out of off their organization that they couldn't afford. They wouldn't draft people because of certain agents because it was so expensive. And finally, a few years ago, they brought in a general manager, and the owner kind of got out of his way and let him do what he needed to do. And they really turned it around, and there was this long, slow, painful build to finally we got to 2014, and all these kids that they'd been drafting came up and were playing together. And we got within 90 feet, Alex Gordon, who's actually is the autographed helmet you'll see in the picture that will accompany this when we get the blog up, was 90 feet away from the tying run to beat the San Francisco Giants in the 2014 World Series. That was it was so close. It was one of those things where, oh my gosh. Well, they went on a mission the next year. They would not be beat. They won it all, from open to the season all the way through. I don't even think there were that many dips in the season out of 162 games. They just dominated, powered through the postseason, had some incredible luck in some instances, which you have to win a championship, I believe, and just had a phenomenal season for the ages. And Kansas City was blue for the first time in 30 years, and it was actually 1985 was the last time they won a World Series, and 30 years on the button, they won it. So that brings me to the Chiefs. It has been forever. And we've had some of the worst luck. You can look up some Kansas City, just go Google Kansas City Chiefs playoff history and some of the crazy ways we figured out to not win. And last year, man, we had Patrick Mahomes. This guy's doing historic things we've never seen. 50 touchdowns, over 5,000 yards. It's only been done by 3 other people in NFL history. And here's a guy who's only played 1 pro football game leading up to this, and he was just doing some crazy things. But our defense kept letting us down. We kept scoring 40 points, and we'd lose a couple. I don't think the least amount of points we scored last year were 26 points. So all that being said, we get to the AFC playoff or AFC championship game. It's in Arrowhead for the first time ever, and we're playing the Patriots, and we're going to beat them. We get an interception to go basically put the dagger in the heart of the evil empire, and one of our defensive guys lined up offsides. They went down, tied the game, went into overtime, coin toss, they won it. We never got to see it in the playoffs. So I followed the Chiefs all off season, and they've revamped their defense, and they've added more weapons on offense. And Pat Mahomes, even after this first week, seems like it doesn't matter if the league's got film on him, because he's got film on them, and he is just going to. I think our Chiefs are on a mission this year, and there seems to be so many parallels to what happened just a few years ago across a parking lot that these guys are going to do. And oh, by the way, the last time we won a world championship was 50 years ago this year. So kind of some symmetry there as well. Anyway, a little bit long here, guys, but just wanted to talk about one of my other areas of passion, which is football and baseball, in particular Kansas City, and the optimism that we have with those two, with some parallels again, with the great win we had a few years ago for the Royals, and now here we go. We hope this is the year for the Chiefs. God bless, guys. We'll talk to y'all soon.